Hey guys, in this video I'm going to tell you about my top 3 destinations in the Philippines, and these can also be retirement destinations. Now, I came up with a list probably around 3 years ago or so, but I've now reevaluated that. I've now been living in the Philippines just about 7 years, so we're going to take a look at my top 3. Stick around. Alright guys, so these 3 are based on my own personal travels, and as of right now, could the list change once I've explored even more over the Philippines? Then absolutely. And so people may not agree with my list, and that's okay. I tell everybody that they should come out here, and don't, just because a vlogger says, hey, I love Dumaguete, it doesn't mean that you will love Dumaguete. We all are looking for different things in life, and different maybe things weigh more heavily for certain people. For me, like example, Dumaguete being a very central location is really big for me. Having a lot of choices for places to live, places to eat, places to shop, those are all important to me as well. But for other people, those may not be as important. So again, when you come out here, make your own choices. Maybe, use a vlogger for sure to, maybe a place wasn't on your radar at all, but you watched a vlog and all of a sudden the place looks interesting. So, use vloggers for that. Use it for information, but simply don't let them just decide for you where you're going to live and where you're going to travel to. Make up your own mind and do your own research. All right, so basically, now this doesn't necessarily, my top destinations doesn't necessarily mean the best medical, the best public transportation, things like that, okay? So before we get to number 1, you'll have to watch to the end of the video to get to number 1, sorry guys. All right, so my third choice now, number 1 for me used to be Davao. I really like Davao, and I still like it a lot. And a lot of people still have this fear about Mindanao, but I'm here to tell you that Davao is a fantastic place. It's a safe place. There's a lot of nature. There's a lot of places to live. There's good medical. You can find good food. So Davao is high up on the list. Davao is one of those places where I've seen electrical lines, instead of looking like spaghetti up in the sky there on poles, their electrical lines are now being buried underground, which I think is excellent. Another thing is I've noticed there's not a lot of stray dogs running all over the place like in other places, and I think they do have some laws in place to take care of strays, which is also excellent. They have some big medical training facilities where a lot of people come to study to become a doctor or a nurse, and therefore they have very good medical. It is a very big spread out city, and therefore you are going to find a lot of shopping malls. You're going to find a lot of places to eat. You've got mountainous areas. Some of my favorite places are Jack's Ridge. You can check out my playlist on cities reviewed, and you can see some videos on Davao. And another thing I really like is it's got Samo Island, just a hop, skip, and a jumping away. They've got whitewater rafting, and Samo Island, for example, has nice white sand beaches available. So Davao is my number 3 on the list. Now, coming in at number 2 for me is Dumaguete. Now, Dumaguete does have a lot of positive things going for it. Now, when I first arrived in Dumaguete the first time around, I didn't think a whole lot of it. And part of the reason is during that time, it was the lockdown. And I had went through a bad relationship at that point as well. So Dumaguete wasn't weighing heavily in for me. I just wasn't too thrilled about it. But they do have good medical with Silliman Medical Center. They've got Ace Hospital. Both are pretty good hospitals. and they do a lot of medical training for doctors and nurses here. Because there are a lot of expats here, there are a lot of good restaurants and places to shop to be able to get things you may not find in smaller province cities. You know, they got specialty stores like Belchris and Lorenzo's that have where you can get imported steaks and drinks and foods from the US and Europe. Another thing that I like a lot also is it's very, very central. So you can get to a lot of destinations very quickly. Mindanao is like 3 hours away. Cebu, South Cebu is like a 30-minute ferry ride. Now, if you want to go to Cebu City, then you're talking about 3-4 hours on a fast craft. You can get to Bohol in like an hour and a half. You can get to Siquijor, Apple Island. So it is an excellent, excellent central location. And also, it's pretty well protected from typhoons. You don't get earthquakes here. There's no volcanic activity nearby. So it is a pretty safe destination. Now, before we get to my number one, I do want to mention that I do have a new travel bag. It's actually a travel bag that I just purchased. I had one before, not as nice. It was a security bag as well, but this bag is pack safe, and it is an anti-theft bag, and I believe this bag is 28 liters, so it can carry up to a 16-inch laptop. It's got a built-in compartment for that. It's also got RFID safe blocking pocket, which is phenomenal for you to put your passport and credit cards in from unwanted scans. It has a security clip where your backpack strap can come off and lock to, for example, like if you're at a hotel, and you can double secure it with like a padlock. And the cool thing about this bag is it's actually made from recycled fishing nets, recycled bottles, and recycled material. And it's got a exo mesh slash guard on it. It holds a 16-inch laptop, it's water repellent fabric. It's expandable bottle pocket, adjustable sternum strap. It's got plenty of storage. What I like about this backpack is you can carry it like a handle, you can carry it like a backpack, and if you open it up, you'll see inside it looks like a mini little suitcase. So for day trips or just a quick trip out, you know, for 3-4 nights, this thing is perfect. I highly recommend it. It's excellent, excellent, excellent. It's probably the best money I've spent on all my travel equipment. You can head over to my website and get this exact bag and a lot more on my geointhephilippines.com. It is under my Geo Travel Essentials, and you can get this and much, much more. All right, so back at it. So my number one destination for retirement is Dipolog. Now, I know I'm going to get some people who say, you know, it's not safe, but the people who live in Dipolog will tell you it is safe. They have implemented a lot of measures making it much safer than maybe it used to, you know, with police and military, making sure it is a safe, secure location. I like it because it's clean, there's a lot of nature, it's friendly, super friendly people. There's a lot of good, actually a lot of good restaurants. There's coffee shops and a super long boulevard, which I think is like 2.6 kilometers long, and it's being built up on all the time with different restaurants and coffee shops. And at night, it just really comes to life. There's a great hotel there if you want to go check it out, but I really recommend it. I've got about 3 videos on Dipolog. So Dipolog, it does have a few good medical centers as well. Housing is a little bit of a problem because there's not as many expats living here, so you won't find the super abundance of expat housing available, but you can find houses to rent, absolutely. Now, another place I want to give an honorable mention is a region. It's called Bukidnon in Mindanao. And the reason why I like it is it's a mountainous area with pine forests and waterfalls. Really a couple cities come into mind, and that would be Valencia. Not the Valencia that's here in Negros next to Dumaguete. It's Valencia and Bukidnon, and also Mabalay. Mabalay also is right next to Valencia. And Valencia's got a brand new mall, Robinson's Mall, so you can find some good restaurants. There's good medical there, but the nature and the friendliness of the people make it a win-win, and I love the cooler weather. Now, it kind of sits right in between Davao and Cagayan de Oro, otherwise known as CDO. So, pretty central location. You can easily get to Davao or Cagayan de Oro from there by catching a bus or hopping on a motorbike or different modes of transportation as well. So, Bukidnon gets an honorable mention. I think everybody should check it out. Now, there are a lot of places that Mai and I still want to check out in the Philippines. Like, obviously I want to get over to Palawan and El Nido. I've never really thought of that as a place to live. It's more of a vacation destination. Camigan Island we really want to get to. Ilocos Norte, Puerto Galera, which is in Mindoro. These are all places that we still want to explore. So this list, it could change again, but as of right now, these are my top 3 for living or retirement destinations, with an honorable mention to Bukidnon, the Valencia, and Malaybalay cities. So guys, if you have any questions or comments or cities you want to mention, please go ahead and comment down below. And as always, I appreciate it. And thank you guys so much, and I'll see you next time.